Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. We're streaming live on Vision TV 247 and other social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Comfort Modu. The headlines. African Development Bank partners research centers to transform African agriculture and improve food security. Fallout of sanctions, Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso set to quit ECOWAS. And Finns head to the polls to elect new president amidst growing tension with Russia. Thanks for joining us. Finns headed to the polls Sunday to elect a new president, an office whose importance has grown following increased tensions with neighboring Russia since the invasion of Ukraine. Details with Kolo Mohammed.
Although the president's powers in Finland are limited, the head of state, who also acts as supreme commander of the nation's armed forces, helps direct foreign policy in collaboration with the government. This therefore means that the changing political landscape in Europe will be the main concern for the winner. Two politicians led the pack of 9 candidates: former Conservative Prime Minister Alexander Stubb and ex-Foreign Minister Pekka Haavisto of the Green Party, who is running as an independent candidate. Just behind the front runners is far-right Finns party candidate Jussi Halla-aho, who political watchers believe could also make it to the second round. Some voters spoken to say Finland needs a president with leadership skills and humanity and must also be tough when the need arises. Relations between Moscow and Helsinki deteriorated after Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, prompting Finland to stop decades of military non-alignment and join NATO in April 2023. Russia, with which Finland shares a 1,340 kilometers border, swiftly warned of countermeasures. However, Finnish president became a staunch critic of Vladimir Putin after Finland joined NATO. An agreement for enhanced defense and security partnership between the United States and Finland was signed last year. The partnership establishes a network of cooperation for the Red and White Seas. Campaigns were peaceful all through, and the Finns are hopeful of a bridge to arrive at the destination of their collective dream of humanity and national advancement. Kolo Mohammed, NTA News.
And the African Development Bank Group and Consortium of International Agricultural Research Centers have resolved to strengthen their collaboration to increase food production and provide better nutrition for Africa's growing population. With 65% of global uncultivated arable land, the African Development Bank believes that the continent can feed itself and the rest of the world. African Development Bank President Dr. Akinwumi Adesina received Africa-based Directors General of CGIAR at the bank headquarters in Abuja to forge ways of scaling up food and agricultural productivity on the continent. The CGIAR centers are located across African countries and focus on enhancing food and nutrition security, reducing poverty, and improving natural resources and ecosystem services. They are critical to achieving food security on the continent, just as their counterparts in Southeast Asia and Latin America were also key to accelerating agricultural growth and food sufficiency, self-sufficiency as well. And the meeting was the first coordinated group visit by the 4 Directors General, Regional Directors and Deputy Director General of CGIAR for Africa to a financing partner, and came 2 days after Dr. Adesina hosted a visit from United States Secretary of the State Antony Blinken, during which the head of U.S. diplomacy praised the bank for the exceptional efforts it is undertaking to help Africa feed itself and the rest of the world. Away from that, 3 West African countries under a military rule, Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso, have agreed to leave the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. In joint statement read out on Nigerian national television this Sunday, the three states said they are leaving the regional bloc immediately. And the statement read by Colonel Amadou Adramen, Niger junta spokesman, said that the peoples of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger are regretful and disappointed with the actions of the ECOWAS, stating that the ECOWAS organization has drifted from the ideals of its founding fathers and the spirit of Pan-Africanism established 49 years ago. Colonel Amadou Adramen he said ECOWAS failed to assist the three states in their existential fight against terrorism and insecurity. Meanwhile, the ECOWAS has reacted to the statement on national televisions of Mali and Niger, announcing the decision of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger to withdraw from the ECOWAS. And the ECOWAS Commission says it is yet to receive any direct formal notification from the three member states about their intention to withdraw from the community. It says the ECOWAS Commission, as directed by the authority of the heads of state and government, has been working assiduously with these countries for the restoration of constitutional order, and that Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali remain important members of the community, and the authority remains committed to finding a negotiated solution to the political impasse. And the ECOWAS Commission remains seized with the development and shall make further pronouncements as the situation evolves. A 29-year-old man has confessed to setting the building on fire in Johannesburg, South Africa, that killed 76 people last August. And the man made the confession while giving testimony at the Commission of Inquiry investigating the blaze.
Brief appearance here at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. It was ready to formalize his charges. He is facing a charge of arson, 76 counts of murder, and 120 counts of attempted murder. No cameras were allowed into the courtroom. Police are not revealing where the man is being held. The commission was left shocked when the confession was made. It has also raised questions around the timing of this confession 6 months after the fire. In his confession, the man said he was ordered by a drug lord to kill another man and burn the body. And this is when the fire started in the building. Speaking outside the court, the man's lawyer, Dumisani Mabunda, confirmed that his client's safety is at risk.
As I've indicated, that his safety is of paramount importance. People are not happy, and as she mentions now, there's a drug lord and all of that. So therefore, his safety is very important. It's at risk, basically.
The case was postponed until next month for a formal bail hearing. The National Prosecuting Authority will also use this time to do their own investigation. The NPA's Kwanele Ndongeni confirmed a confession was also made to police.
Remember that as the prosecution, we cannot rely on the evidence that was presented in the commission. The state is currently busy with its own investigations, but with what we currently have at our disposal, we were able to place the matter before court. We can confirm that a confession has been reduced in front of a magistrate, so it therefore meets the requirements of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act. So we are currently the police is currently conducting investigations to get evidence that will corroborate what we currently have at our disposal.
The suspect will appear in court again on the 1st of February.
Elsewhere, growing numbers of Western countries suspended aid to the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees after allegations that dozens of its staff took part in the October 7th attacks in Israel. The attack is said to have led to the killing of about 1,200 people. Details with Kolo Mohammed.
The attack is believed to be the single largest loss of Jewish lives since the Holocaust. The United Kingdom, Italy and Finland joined the USA, Australia and Canada in freezing funding for Palestinian Refugee Aid Agency. The United Nations Relief and Work Agency UNRWA is the only largest provider of life-saving aid to Palestinians. But now shocking revelations from the agency itself indicates that several workers were fired following accusations by Israel of being involved in the October 7th attacks.
It was exposed that UNRWA employees took part in the massacre. The UN is not only weaponized to delegitimize our existence, but also to physically exterminate us.
Israel has for long accused UNRWA of fueling anti-Semitism, an allegation the agency denied. These latest accusations come hours after the UN court ordered Israel to take measures to prevent genocide in Gaza. The White House is demanding that the United Nations conduct a thorough and transparent investigations. The United Nations chief, Antonio Guterres, has vowed to hold staff to account. Early next week, 2 Republican-led congressional committees in the USA will hold public hearing on the agency, focusing on its mandate, funding, and failures. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
Now, sustained marine pollution is set to deprive marine ecosystems of the oxygen they need to survive, considering that plastics discarded into the ocean gets broken down into smaller pieces and ingested by marine organisms. This is not only harmful to them, but gets plastics into the human food chain. More on this with Kolo Mohammed again.
8 million metric tons of plastic trash are said to be discarded from land into the sea and oceans of the world every year. It's the equivalent of 5 plastic bags filled with trash for every foot of coastlines around the world. Another research puts it at 1 garbage truck of plastic trash dumped into the sea every minute. That is 17.6 billion pounds every year. The ocean plastic trash goes into circulation, dispersed everywhere, broken down into smaller pieces, ingested by species from the marine domain, and settling at the bottom of the sea. Plastics travel far as they can be manufactured and sold anywhere in the world. There's a new move known as the plastic economy, where experts say every player in the chain needs to change the way they do things.
In order to solve the plastic packaging problem, we need to effectively rethink the entire system. From one which is linear, i.e. take, make, dispose, to one where it can be recovered and fed back into the economy as a valuable plastic material, or one where it is biobenign and it can enter the environment. The ultimate goal of the new plastics economy is to design an economy where plastic packaging never becomes waste. And to do that, we need every single player in the chain to change the way that they do things.
Marine pollution comes in many forms, from industrial, agricultural, and urban waste, all the way to sweeping into the sea or fueling explosion of algae that rob the marine ecosystem of the oxygen they need to survive. With sustained pollution, these marine areas become dead zones, which already exist in more than 400 locations across the globe. Nutrients pollution can be managed through change in major contributing systems like agriculture. It is believed that a healthy ocean can feed 1 billion people healthy meals every day forever. Now that the organisms are being killed by throwaway plastics, the meals feed a lot less people in the far less healthy ways. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
Now, the introduction of the Special National Economic Livelihood Support Intervention for victims of 2022 floods and vulnerable persons across the country by the federal government, to say the least, rekindled the hope of victims. National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has executed the program across the 36 states, including Anambra and the FCT. Ilyasu Yakub completes the report.
Items distributed include rice, maize and yam seedlings, food and non-food items, grinding and sewing machines. Other items include farm inputs like fertilizer, pesticides and knapsack sprayers for farmers and artisans, as well as rehabilitation of the victims to help them regain some means of livelihood. Olusegun Afolayan, NEMA's coordinator of the program in Anambra State, says the agency, in collaboration with the Anambra State Emergency Management Agency, have been working to ensure equitable distribution of the items to the beneficiaries. He said this federal government initiative has greatly impacted the lives of the people who had completely lost hope when the incident occurred.
Everywhere we went to, we educate them to make maximum use of it, not to sell the equipment, to use it for the purpose of which it was given to them, so as to enhance the food basket of this Anambra State, and for them to be able to have an income for spending for their household.
Representative of the Anambra State government thanked the federal government for the show of solidarity and alleviating the plight of the people. Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. More stories after this break. Stay tuned.
The wait is over for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations is here live on AfroSport. Don't miss out on the amazing action, 52 live matches, Super Eagles updates and more. AfroSport has got you covered. Stay connected on social media for exclusive content, challenges, games, and live fan interactions. Your voice matters and Fans Connect is your chance to be part of the game. Join the countdown, set your reminders and immerse yourself in the excitement. AFCON 2023, where Africa's passion for football comes alive. Like and follow on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at fansconnect.club. Also continue the conversation on www.fansconnect.club. AFCON 2023 is live on AfroSport. Free sport lives here.
Welcome back. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NTAi, have arrested a Brazil returnee Udechukwu Ekene Theophilus at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, for ingesting 60 big wraps of cocaine. The suspect, who was arrested during inward clearance of passengers on Ethiopian Airlines flight from Sao Paulo, Brazil via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, at the arrival hall of the Lagos airport, initially refused to undergo body scan, raising health concerns in a desperate bid to evade arrest. In the same vein, NTAi operatives at the Lagos airport recovered a total of 12 cartons of tramadol, 225 milligram containing 599,900 pills weighing 385.40 kilogram from an overstayed cargo at the Sako import shed of the Lagos airport after a joint examination with other agencies. And the tramadol consignment had come into the country in 2 batches on KLM Royal Dutch Airline flights from Karachi, Pakistan, between 27th of July, 1st of August 2023. They were, however, placed under watch by NDLE operatives since then. It also declared ex-beauty queen Aderin Noye Oluwadamilola wanted for dealing in illicit drugs. And the Nigerian Air Force has formally apologized to members of Rukubi community in Doma, local government area of Nasser State, where an airstrike claimed the lives of herders and their livestock on January 24, 2023. The reconciliatory move follows the conclusion of investigations and comes exactly 1 year after the incident, which the Cattle Breeders Association, Miati Allah, described as a blast coming from the air, while members were offloading cattle from vehicles. The chief of the air staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, who met families and surviving victims of the accidental airstrike, said having reviewed the incident, reports concerning the airstrikes that were undertaken January 24, 2023, in pursuit of terrorists near Rukubi, innocent civilians may have erroneously been killed or injured in the process. Key players in the security sector say the NAF conciliatory move says or signals accountability and respect for human rights. Our Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has directed area council chairmen to hold monthly security meetings in their domain. The minister gave the directive during the last leg of the security town hall meeting in Kuje. Onozie Yakubu reports.
The difficult terrain coupled with the deplorable condition of access and community roads, as well as mining activities, are what the criminal elements are taking advantage of to perpetrate their activities. It is in the light of this that the council chairman and the governor of Kuje are appealing for the quick intervention in this regard.
As a leader who does not compromise quality and standards on all your projects, we passionately appeal that our observation be considered and our design be maintained so that the road can be dualized, sir.
We have some terrain, terrible terrain in Kuje area council. The whole place, there is no access road. Honestly speaking, Mr. Minister, we need your urgent attention.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike says security is one of the priorities of President Bola Tinubu's administration, hence the need to enhance infrastructure development in communities.
When I saw the file of Arab contractors, I didn't know it was the road from the express. I said, no, keep it aside, I'm not sure of this contract. But now that I know it is correct, I will go back and revisit the file. And council chairman, let me advise you people, you must continue to hold regular security meeting with the traditional rulers. If you don't hold regular security meeting, you will not know the problems. So you must, as a matter of at least once in every month.
He, however, appealed to the informants to turn a new leaf or be ready to face the consequences of their action. Onozie Yakubu, NTA News.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, has emphasized the need for state governments to constitute a special task force to enforce discipline on individuals that sabotage the efforts of the federal government in providing quality roads for the people. He stated this during his recent tour of Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway to ascertain the extent of work done by contractors. Ifomandi Okoli reports.
The contractors handling the 56.1 kilometer Umuahia Tower Aba section of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway went back to site following an appeal by the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, during his inspection tour of finished and ongoing federal roads project in the southeast.
I was here partly during December and I was very, very impressed with the quality of work they are doing. When I see their commitment in the removal of refuse and using sharp sand to do the filling, I was so impressed. I know we have a problem of funding, but I begged him to please come back because of the sufferings of the people.
Umahi, however, frowned at what is described as unruly behaviors of some traders on that road axis.
After the federal government has spent so much money constructing this road, you see people, loading on the road. You see people trading. I think half of the traders in Aba are having their, shops right on the main road. And this is very disgusting.
The Federal Controller of Works in Abia State said they are transforming the old median from the Aba-Port Harcourt section into main carriageway to accommodate the heavy movement of trucks on that road axis.
From Tower to Osisioma Bridge, you have dual carriageway. After the bridge, you now have 4 carriageways. We will just have less than 3 kilometers, just about 3 kilometers to finish this one, and then about 5 kilometers to finish the Aba-bound carriageway.
Before, this road is the condition of this road before is not good at all. But as of now, the road, as I see the road now, within a short time, any person who ride this place will know that government has changed.
I'm very, very happy because when the road is completed, development will come.
It is expected that the road will be completed before the end of the second quarter of this year, 2024. In Umuahia, Ifoma Ndu Okoli, NTA News.
And in line with the constitutional mandate, the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, is carrying out rehabilitation work on some sections of the Jalingo, Wukari and Benue state border roads. Team leader and Executive Director, Administration and Human Resources of the agency says the road rehabilitation is part of the agency's ongoing operation Connect Your Destination. Moses Ajawude reports.
The Jalingo, Wukari and Benue border section of the federal highway has over the years remained a death trap to road users because of its dilapidated nature. The collapse of major bus culverts worsened the situation. This has brought untold hardship to commuters as business activities and movements were grounded. It is in response to the plight of the people and to ameliorate their suffering that the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, through direct labor, embarked on the reinstatement of eroded shoulders, embankment washout, and rehabilitation work on the Wukari-Jalingo Federal Highway.
At kilometer 86 plus 625, there was a washout there, embankment washout that almost cut off the road. And as well as kilometer 86 plus 955, there was a culvert collapse. The culvert collapsed and it was about to cut off the road.
While expressing satisfaction with the quality of work done so far on the highway, some road users observed the intervention as apt.
We want a government to make events go slow for us. For here.
This spot has been a nightmare for motorists, but with the repairs, we can now heave a sigh of relief. The Executive Director, Human Resource Management of the agency, Oke Olumiyinka, accompanied by the Zonal Director, North Central 2, stated their commitment towards road maintenance across the state and the country in general.
Funding ultimately is one of the challenges we have. But as much as we are given to work, we show value for money for it.
It's an excellent job, and one can say that the staff of Taraba State, the FRME and the other staff, they have done beautifully well.
This is a routine exercise being done by the agency to ascertain the quality of work being done and to ensure it complies with engineering standard and specification. From Taraba, I am Moses Ajawude, NTA News.
Many thanks, Moses, for that report. And that concludes the news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I'm Comfort Amodu.